the day that we celebrate the school's birthday. We call it Founders Day. You'll hear a little bit more about it from Mr. Downey. And right now, though, we're going to begin our formal assembly by listening to Lucas and standing for O Canada.
Thank you, Lucas. Good morning, everyone. It's a tradition that we celebrate the founding of our school every November. Along with celebrating our 113th birthday, we come together to recognize what it means to be a community. Our school has existed for 113 years because of a strong community. So let's take a moment and look back and introduce you to Mr. Charles Taylor from the class of 1946, who is the oldest living alumni in Montreal, age 90. Jinghan Lee, who is 5 years old and is our youngest student at Selwyn House. When he graduates, he will be in the class of 2033. Even though there's an age difference of 85 years, they are still connected because they have both gone to Selwyn House School. Being part of a community like ours is a privilege, and at the heart of who we are and what we do are some incredibly kind, generous, and hardworking people. This year, Miss Laura Osborne, whose son Andrew is in grade 8 and Henry, who is in grade 6, is receiving the Nancy Pitfield Volunteer Award, which we use to recognize a volunteer that works very, very hard to make the school a better place. And Mr. Vince Guzzo, who's had two sons who have already graduated, a son Vito in grade 11 and Delano in grade 7, is being honored with the Spears Medal by the school's Board of Governors. This medal is awarded each year to someone who has a long history of dedication to the school. We have a Veritas statement that says that we want our students to be respectful, resilient, and hardworking young men who pursue fulfilled, balanced, and purposeful lives anchored by Selwyn Veritas. But what is Selwyn Veritas? Well, we divide it into 4 pieces. We want you guys to be true to yourselves with self-awareness, self-respect, self-confidence, and self-advocacy. Please take care of yourselves. We want you to be true to others with respect, compassion, inclusivity, and kindness. I actually think this one is really, really important. Please take care of each other. We want you to be true to your school with effort, initiative, commitment, and passion. So please take care of your schoolwork. And last year we added a new one, true to your world with integrity, leadership, partnership, and justice. Please take care of the planet and the people who live here. These are a lot of big words that you'll be hearing about throughout your Selwyn House career. As you leave Selwyn House, you are inheriting a world that requires a lot of work. People around the world are not always getting along. The environment is struggling, and we must all learn to work together to solve these issues. All countries and people must pull together. Here at school, we're all part of the same community, so please take care of each other and be kind. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Downey. Boys, as a school and Mr. Downey, I kind of make this promise to you that we are really working hard, filling our buckets, being kind to one another, and obviously kind to the world. I don't know if you noticed that at the beginning, Mr. Downey said that we have the youngest old boy at Selwyn House right here, right now. Chen Chen, could you? Mr. Downey made a little error. He said that it was Charles Taylor who is the old oldest old boy in Montreal that we could find. Unfortunately, Mr. Downey's wrong. I don't know if you remember, we went and visited Mr. Downey's basement on Halloween Day.
Yeah.
There was that haunted house where we met 4 old headmasters, ghosts of.
Yeah.
Well, I was tidying up, and in that little bedroom that we first walked into, I actually found the oldest old boy of Selwyn School. And I've invited him here if he made it. He dusted himself off. I hope he's going to come and tell us a little bit about you.
Hello! Yes! Hello, everybody! Hi. How's everybody doing today? Thank you so much for having me here. I want to thank Mrs. Funinoto for finding me in that basement, because I went to visit one of the headmasters and I fell asleep, and I've been there ever since. It's quite a story. You know, I know a lot about this school because I've been involved with it for such a long time. I even have pictures of the school from the beginning right here in my photo album. And I gave some to the technicians so they could put them up on the screen and show everybody. You know, I may not look it, but I'm over 100 years old. I know, it's hard to believe, eh? I'm in pretty good shape. I won't tell you how much older I am, but let's just say that my parents were looking for a teacher right around the time when Mr. Lucas Algernon came to town. Algernon Lucas. Lucas? Huh? Recognize that name? There he is from my photo album. He was our first headmaster. He came to Montreal from England, where he studied at Selwyn College at Cambridge University. Very good school and a good name too. My parents thought he would be the perfect teacher for my friends and I. So he agreed to open up a school. He found a place on Crescent Street, a house that was right in the middle of downtown. And it was right beside where I lived. When he first opened the school, he called it Lucas School. He named it after himself. And there were only 7 students at the school. Imagine that. Just 7 students. And the teachers lived at the school, and they taught them all. And 2 years later, oh, there they are. My name's in the middle there. Then 2 years later, they found another building closer to where we are now on Mackay Street. Soon after that, oh, it hasn't changed much. There it is. Yeah, it looks pretty much the same. Soon after that, Mr. Lucas decided to become a businessman. And later, he became a soldier in World War I. But before he left, he put his friend, Colin Macaulay, in charge of the school. There's another familiar name. Yeah, some of you belong to that house. That's great. He had gone to school at Selwyn College as well, so he gave the school the name we have today, Selwyn House. And he also decided that the motto of the school should be truth. Veritas. There it is. We wear it proudly. He loved singing and debating, which he used to do with all the students. He was headmaster for almost 20 years before he gave the school to Jeffrey Wanstall. That was our 3rd headmaster. Mr. Wanstall moved the school from a house to a large building on Redpath Street, right near McGill University. There it is. Now, I graduated and I was a professor at McGill at the time, so I was very excited. The school was so close. I visited all the time and I got to see how it changed over the years. For the first time, we had a proper dining hall, a library, a gymnasium, an assembly hall. It was a big school. It wasn't just a little house anymore. Of course, it was still owned by the headmaster. They owned the school back then. But then, in 1945, the parents of Selwyn House raised money to buy the school, and they formed the Selwyn House Association that still runs the school today. And they hired the next headmaster, Mr. Robert Spears. He loved to sing too. And he wrote the school hymn that we still sing today. You all know it. O God of all being, who rulest in might. I love that song. And you know what else he did? He added more French classes to the curriculum. He added more extracurricular activities. And in 1960, the school needed more room, so they moved to the building that used to be Westmount High School. Look familiar? That's the one we're in today. This used to be Westmount High School. I was living in Westmount by then, just down the road, and I sent my sons here. You live in Westmount too, I imagine. It's okay, I'll take questions after. Just let me get through this because I might forget. I'm so old. Okay, so I got to see how much the school changed having a son here from close by. Mr. Spears was the headmaster for over 20 years. And while he was here, the school went from 99 students to over 500 by the time we got our next headmaster, Mr. Alexis Trubetskoy. There he is there. He created today. He created Founders Day to celebrate the school's birthday. He expanded the library. He bought more books. And you know what else he did? He got the first computers. Believe it or not, we didn't have computers before him. Sounds strange today. He also expanded the sports program to 18 teams. When I was here, it was just boxing in the shed behind the house. 18 teams now. Our next headmaster, Mr. Robert Manuel, was not here for such a long time, but he still did some important things. He changed the prefect system so that students and teachers could vote for the prefects. You will get to do that when you get to high school. The other thing he did was he helped form the parents' organization that volunteers around the school and does so much for us. Then came Mr. William Mitchell. Oh, when he was here, there were big changes. Before that, Selwyn House was only one building, this building. He renovated this building, and he built the Spears building that's attached where the library and the gym are. And after that, he bought the Macaulay building across the street for the high school. And finally, you know what else he did? He started kindergarten. Before him, we didn't have kindergarten at Selwyn House. Yes. Mr. Hannaford was our next headmaster. My grandchildren were going there by then. And he was in charge of the school until about only 2 years ago. He was all about supporting the teachers to do great things, and he helped the school change to better fit how boys learn. Selwyn became even more of a school where every boy was known and loved. We had more assemblies, and we met together more often to talk and learn from each other, just like today. And now we have our latest headmaster, Mr. Mike Downey. He was a principal here for the high school and a teacher here for many years. His message is to be kind and to appreciate and take care of the wonderful community that we have here at Selwyn House. Well, I can see you've taken his message to heart because, you know, you've been very kind to listen to my stories this whole time, and you've really made me feel part of the community. You know, I've seen the school change and grow so much over the years. Seems like nothing could surprise me. But every time I think I've seen everything, I'm always amazed at how Selwyn House can continue to grow and practice Veritas even more and be even more true to itself, to others, and to its changing place in the world we live in. I'm very excited to see how it's going to continue to do that for years to come. But you know what? I've taken enough time out of your assembly with my stories. You know, I know some of you had questions. I'll try to be at the back of the room while you're leaving, and you can ask me then, okay? But thank you so much for listening to me, and have a great day. I'll see you soon when my great-grandchildren start coming here. Have a great day, and happy birthday. Happy birthday, Selwyn House. I'll see you later.
So I know that some of you tease me because I keep things for a long time in shopping bags behind my desk, but it's good sometimes to check around. You do find some old things hanging around. Thank you to the youngest old boy, to the oldest old boy, and to Mr. Downey for telling us a little bit about Selwyn House. So we have learned a little bit today, looked at our history, Mr. Downey has given us a little peek into the future. And today is a chance just to stop and think about who came before us and what they left behind as a legacy, a mark. What did they add to the school? And I'm asking you, even in kindergarten, what are your plans? What are you going to leave as your mark, as your legacy, as you make your way through Selwyn House? It is a time today to celebrate the founders, celebrate you. It's kind of our birthday. And as usual, at a birthday, we'll have some dessert cake today to celebrate. So I want to wish you all a great Founders Day and happy birthday to Selwyn House School.